I'm touched. I am so thrilled to have Alema Harrington, my man, my buddy, right here on this show. Uh, Gosh, what a great story you have with your venture. I'm going to let you educate the viewers, kind of let them get to know you because they see you in the wonderful three-piece suits, the pinstripes, just being sexy with your swag, Every night, the Jazz pre and post game. You also work with the BYU football. Um, what a great time. We've got to do speaking engagements together. Had a lot of fun with that. You've got a powerful message that you send. I'm thrilled that you took time from your schedule. I know you kind of, before the BYU stuff goes, the Utah Jazz stuff just ended. You're spending a lot of time with family. Got a couple boys here. How fun is that, man?
I'll tell you what, that has been the experience of a lifetime. I'm so blessed. And before I even get into that, I'll just say, I would echo what Coach Sanford was just saying about you. What a compliment that is to you. But I would echo the same sentiment that you, just as a man, and the way that you treat your lovely wife Kim.
Thank you.
Certainly that is the one of the admirable traits that you have.
Thank you.
Among the others, but to have that one pointed out by Mark as I was sitting here in studio and listening, I was like, yeah. That is that, man, and that is a high compliment. But for me, I'm fortunate. I'm sitting here in studio here, Brave Haven, and I'm getting a text message, or not a text message, excuse me, an email from my son who's on a mission, who's 20 years old. He's in New Zealand, and I just feel, and then I have my 15-year-old, 14-year-old son's turning 15 tomorrow, so I'm getting an email from him.
Fun.
And then I just left my two little boys that my wife Kristen and I had. She's such a fantastic mother with them, and watching them grow is just an amazing thing.
Isn't it cool?
And I'm sorry that I missed Brandon here, because that's a big night for you and the Fields family, to see Brandon Slide make his decision, and he's going to
big
Eastern.
time stuff.
And that's fantastic. I'm excited about that. And so, we get a chance to share that, and beyond the X's and O's and this business of broadcast and everything, which we've been fortunate to do together as well, and talk basketball. Just to have that family experience is it's thrilling.
It is. It's that great balance that just gives us that grounding and that humbleness, because we get to go home and to our wives, and they're so good with the kids, and it's like, wow, this is really happening, because it's amazing, because Brandon came into our lives 4 years ago, and it's like 4 years has gone by so fast, and it's like unbelievable, because it seems like just yesterday we were at a Blaze football game watching your daughter cheer, and here's my son going, man, she's hot. So the little stories like that, it's just so fun. But your daughter's done some great things, and it's just so cool. Here we sit today. The NBA playoffs are starting this Thursday. You got the Spurs, and you've got San Antonio Spurs, and you got the Miami Heat. You've been able to watch from afar. Who do you like? You're a Jazz guy, of course. You're here, but what are your gut feelings when you think, okay, here we go, round two, same as last year? Do you think the Spurs have enough bench to get it done? Do you think LeBron James is going to, inflict his will and say, no, guys, this is it. We're going to get that three-peat? What are your feelings? What do you think?
Well, I would say, first of all, my first thought is what role reversal for you and I. I used to bring you on Powerhouse and say, Scott, what do you think about the NBA Finals? Who's going to win it? And now you're asking me. But then, interesting as I look at the matchup between these two teams, and I think back to last year, and if it weren't for Ray Allen, that shot, the Spurs, they're getting ready to, bring out the trophy.
That's right. The fans were already gone. They left the arena.
I'm excited about the matchup. The first time that this has happened since the Jazz were back in with the back-to-back with the Bulls, in 97, 98.
That's
so,
right.
It just goes to show what a rare occurrence that is to have two teams at that level. And that's what we have is the Spurs, and well, I can remember being on the show with you and asking you, I say, they keep saying that that window's closing on the Spurs, but it's been closing for the last 10 years, and it's still open. And somehow they powered through that window, and so I'm excited about it, but I can't bet against the Miami Heat, I look at LeBron James, and I think maybe motivated in part, even though was very gracious in Kevin Durant winning the MVP, I think that he still has something that he wants to prove.
Yeah.
And what an amazing player he is.
Right.
And I look at that Spurs, the talent, whether or not Tony Parker can play, that's going to be a big factor.
Yeah.
And Kawhi Leonard is an exciting player, but I don't know that he's there yet. But who knew about Kawhi, right?
Yeah.
And that's just a tribute to the Spurs, and you know better than me, certainly, what it takes to develop players. And man, Coach Pop and his staff over there do an amazing job.
They do.
Scouting talent, developing talent. So I think it'll be a tough matchup between these two teams, but I think the Miami Heat win.
Yeah. You know what? Think about. I've seen here the last couple of days where, the Spurs have all said, and they've echoed the sentiments, hey, this is what we wanted. We want to get back.
Mm-hmm.
That's providing some locker room material for LeBron James to sit there and read. And like you say, the season's body of work. Okay, Kevin Durant gets the MVP this year. You've got San Antonio. I think he still wants to prove something too. It's going to be interesting to see the adjustments that they make, what they're going to do, how strategically is it going to go down. It's going to be a marathon. It's not going to be a quick sprint. It's going to be interesting to see how Pop plays it out with the pieces that he has and the bench depth that they have, because LeBron James is an amazing. I mean, he's a phenom. Let's be honest. I mean, his body of work. His body physically. His body physically. He's so big. He's so versatile. He's so dangerous. Is Chris Bosh going to sit out and just settle for the three? Is he going to have his back to the basket a little bit more? I mean, you got a couple bigs with San Antonio who can kind of bang and wear down, a Chris Bosh, because I don't think he's going to want that physicality. So there's going to be a lot of little, things going on behind the scenes to watch as a coach. I love the purity of the game and what Pop does with that group. Because again, they've got the bench. They embrace their roles. It's fun to watch. So it's going to be a nice little, Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope, taking your jabs, sitting back, coming out swinging. So it's going to be exciting. And like you say, it's great for the league. It's exciting for the fans. And let's strap it on and let's go to work. You know,
interesting parallel that you bring up too, because when you talk about those two teams, the Miami Heat and the San Antonio Spurs, and I think we saw something, I don't want to say identical, but maybe similar with the matchup between San Antonio and Oklahoma City.
You bet.
They've got some great players. Yeah. Kevin Durant and Westbrook had some of his, probably his best game with that 10-5-5. Certainly he's an electrifying player, but down the stretch, Coach Pop was able to use his guys. They had plays. They knew what they could go to. The passing was phenomenal. Whereas the Oklahoma City Thunder had to rely on their talent.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make the direct comparison between LeBron James and Dwayne Wade and Kevin Durant and Westbrook, but there's something similar there.
Yeah.
And so when I look at that matchup, it still comes back to me like, Popovich, he's the coach of the year once again for a good reason.
You better believe it.
And what will he be able to do with this group? Because we can talk about Tony Parker and his health, but we're also going to have to talk about Dwayne Wade and his health.
That's right.
So it's going to be interesting.
It is. Congratulations to Scotty Layton, who's down there, as a general manager with San Antonio. Excited for that opportunity for him. But it truly is going to be fun. Going back to the Oklahoma City, I'm just putting my humble opinion out there. I'm just an unemployed coach, so I don't know. But, Westbrook, he is explosive. He makes a lot of things happen. When the ball is in his hands, he is going to get to the rack. Now, sometimes, I like him more to the two. When he's the point guard, when Pierre Jackson's on the floor and they move him off the ball and he's at the two, I think they're a better team offensively. The ball gets moved a little bit more. Westbrook's going to make it happen. He was scoring, but you got the MVP of the league sitting over there on the wing wide open sometimes, and he's getting frustrated not getting his touches. Is that why he slipped and fell there towards the end of the game? Because he was trying to force and push because he finally had the ball in his hands and maybe tried to overcreate in that sense. But again, it's a lot of personnel things are going to happen this year, but what a fun time this is going to be for the NBA Finals. We're going to go to a break here real quick, and we're going to come back on with my friend Alema Harrington, and we're going to continue to chop it up and talk some NBA basketball. We'll talk some BYU football too.
All righty.
Let's do it.